Hello there, it is the 17th day of March 2022. Greetings from Rwanda's capital, Kigali. Here is what makes our top stories tonight. The National Commission for Human Rights has noted that the increase in the number of corruption cases is not only based on poor service delivery, but also that people are becoming more aware of their rights to give information on the crime. The Rwandan government, in partnership with the United States, has launched two projects to address social issues in 10 districts, including child stunting, sanitation, and hygiene. A very good evening to you and welcome to Rwanda Television News. My name is Sam Kalisa. As we kick it off, on Thursday, in discussions evaluating the effects of corruption on human rights, the National Commission for Human Rights noted that the increase in the number of corruption cases is not only based on poor service delivery, but by various institutions rather, but also that people are becoming more aware of their rights to give information on the crime, which gives them courage to report corruption cases. Olive Nete kickstarts tonight's edition with this report.
Members of the public say that they notice bribery cases in most of activities, especially when requesting for various services, which negatively affect their economy as well as the country's economy.
Most of the time I hear of corruption in land services. What can be done is that service providers should provide services as soon as possible, because services are provided appropriately can lead to eradication of corruption.
According to the Rwanda Bribery Index of 2021 by the Transparency International Rwanda, it was pointed out that corruption in the private sector was at 20.4%, while in the judiciary system it was at 28.9%, and in the traffic police department it was at 15.2% from 12%. Marie-Claire Mukasine, chairperson of the National Commission for Human Rights, notes that the increase in cases is not just a result of poor service delivery, but also residents are now aware of their rights, which leads them to report corruption cases. People are being encouraged to fight against it and talk about it when it is about to happen. There is a law that protects informants, and the law is progressing where even the person who provided it but provides the information, it is helpful. It helps to make it known, and he is protected in such a way that does not affect him when he gives that information. This is something that helps others who hide such information to openly speak out. Statistics show that people with low income between 39,000 Rwandan francs and 100,000 Rwandan francs are asked for bribes because they are at 39%. People who give bribery in rural areas are at 66.5%, while in urban it is at 33.47%. Statistics also reveal that 53.5% of men are responding to bribery, while women are at 46.4%. Non-governmental organizations note that residents should take the lead in the fight against corruption as it hinders their development. The second way we use is through capacity building. There are times when one does not know his rights, especially what the law allows. So what we do then is to train them, conduct discussion in an easy and understandable way so that all the laws established to protect them can be understood. In 2018, a specific anti-corruption law was enacted. Teofil Mbonera, the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Justice, noted that this discouraged those who give and those who ask for bribery.
This is to mean that it is a crime with no statute of limitations. That means you cannot give the excuse that many years have passed and no one investigated you about the crime, as it may be the case with many other crimes. That seriously discourages people from deceiving themselves that they may have somehow beaten the law and that they have gotten away with corruption.
According to the Office of the Ombudsperson, about 286 people were convicted of corruption in 2020-2021 compared to 231 people in 2019-2020. In a two-day conference organized by the National Commission for Human Rights, various institutions involved in the fight against corruption, and the International Organization of La Francophonie is closely examining the effects of corruption on human rights and will give resolutions on how to reduce the number of corruption cases. Olive Nete, RTV News.
Thank you very much, Olive, for the report. And as we move ahead, the Rwandan government, in partnership with the United States, has launched 2 projects to address social issues in 10 districts, including child stunting, sanitation, and hygiene. This is a 5-year initiative that will cost 65 billion Rwandan francs. Jen Motoni has more on this.
One of the projects launched is called Gikuriro Kuri Bose, aimed at promoting the nutrition and well-being of women before menopause and children under the age of 5. The other project is called Isoko Y'ubuzima, aimed at promoting sanitation and hygiene in Rwanda. Some residents say that these projects are a game changer, as they are a plus to the existing ones that are also aimed to change their livelihoods for the better. Children were lacking a balanced diet, but because of this school, this issue is no more in our village. They now go to study at that school and they look healthy. These projects were funded by the United States Agency for International Development. The U.S. Charge d'Affaires in Rwanda, Deborah McLean, noted that the fact that the U.S. funded these projects shows the good relations between Rwanda and the U.S. in terms of improving the well-being of the people.
The opportunities there are here is also future collaboration and partnership for the United States here as well. And so the wealth of possibilities and opportunities here are tremendous. And so programs like this really help to continue to build that foundation that the government here has already built. And so for us, it's a collaboration and a partnership. What some areas are for us to be able to work together, so is sanitation or health or agriculture, or even business development opportunities of bringing American businesses here or exporting Rwandan products back to the U.S. And so it's a really big picture, but it all goes towards building the relationship between the governments and people of our 2 countries.
The Rwandan Minister of Health, Dr. Daniel Ngamije, praised the United States cooperation in these projects as it will change the lives of the people and address some of the issues that threaten their well-being.
We want this project to be inclusive, especially the Gikuriro Kuri Bose, because we have kids with disabilities. Sometimes parents are tempted to keep them at home. They don't feel proud to bring them at school. So we want to make sure that those schools at the village level, even those kids with disabilities, will not be excluded just because of their disabilities. So we open doors to bring them near to bring those schools near to their household. So we exclude that constraint related to the distance. They are trained in the way that they can accommodate those kids. They can even be in touch with the nearest health facilities, so that if required, people from health facilities can come and assess the level of disability and orient the kid depending the level of disability. Of course, these centers are there, these ECDs are there as the entry point at the village level to make sure that no any kid is left behind due to disability, but also an entry point for making sure that he can be referred to the entire health system for the care, for a comprehensive and holistic care.
The United States have been funding a variety of activities in different sectors, including education, agriculture, medicine, and more. All these latest projects will cost 65 billion Rwandan francs over a period of 5 years. They will be implemented in Rwamagana, Kayonza, Goma, Nyabihu, Nyanza, Kichukiro, Nyarugenge, Burera, Rulindo, and Nyamasheke. Jane Motoni, RTV News.
Thank you, Jen, for the report. And as we move ahead, the launch of our Youth Ecosystem Development, Youth Awareness and Advocacy was hosted in Kigali City, a collaboration between Generation Africa and Alliance for Green Revolution in Africa to support young entrepreneurs in the agriculture sector, which was held on Thursday. We do have the report with Siti Patel.
The launch was jointly convened by Generation Africa and Alliance for Green Revolution in Africa, AGRA. The idea behind this collaboration is to give youth a voice to identify problems, find solutions together with the organizations, and in what ways the organization can support the youth in the agricultural sector. The businesses who survived for a year, almost 70% of them had to close down. Commerce which pulled through for 2 years, 50% of them had to shut down. Traders who managed to sustain 3 years, approximately 30% of them had to end their commerce and trade. Rwandan Ministry of Youth and Culture are working to support Rwandan youth through a flagship program specifically curated to address the bottlenecks young agripreneurs are facing. The collaboration between Generation Africa and AGRA is to focus on a few issues, namely climate change, pests and rodents, nutrition and diet, outdated farming practices, markets and livelihood, innovations in the food system, and limited access to technology, all of which hinder productivity and income generation. Some of the challenges voiced by the youth today are in the sector of horticulture, poultry, pisciculture, irrigation, value addition for primary agricultural products. Some of the solutions to it are to focus on networking, digitalization, easy access to finance, and opportunity to value addition, have the necessary skills equipped with tools and various other solutions.
We are expecting discussions that will lead us to solving all those challenges that we always face as youth. We have a knowledge or capacity building in agribusiness. By then, what do we use this knowledge for? That is the challenge. We do not have capital, starting capital.
Ms. Sakina Uzenjimana, the CEO and founder of Afri Foods, runs the business of exporting of fresh food and vegetables to Middle East and Europe, who has 500 farmers working under her.
There's a problem of production and packaging, which also we have been discussed with this forum, and we believe that it's going to help us in the future and as we are advocating more.
The organizers of Youth Ecosystem Development event are trying to mobilize youth to join Go-Getters and Value for Her communities platform and participate in subsequent programs, which will serve to give the youth and international networking exposure with other like-minded youth from across the continent. Create awareness on available opportunities they can tap into offered by different stakeholders and the government, which includes the Ministry of Youth and Culture and Ministry of Agriculture and Animal Resources. Mr. Dixon Naftali, the head of Generation Africa, goes in about how they are going to implement this flagship program.
So the young people who are coming into agriculture, we try and walk with them the journey from ideation to successful businesses that are mature. Looking at working with financial institutions as well to ensure that as they tailor their products for finance, they don't incorporate collaterals that are so hard for young businesses to find. They make sure that it's a data-driven lending with contracting and looking at the end market. And as long as the young farmers have a market, they can already be extended to some credit which will help them to do their businesses. And so the approach is to have a flagship that involves all these important players. Financial institutions will be part of this flagship. Consortium that will be formed with all these development partners will make decisions on who takes what.
Mr. Jean-Paul Dadijimana, a country representative of Alliance for Green Revolution in Africa, AGRA, notes on the solutions that will be implemented in the future.
In our next 5 years, we are intentionally putting a focus on supporting youth in agriculture. And we are supporting them on 3 fronts. The first front we are supporting is to really link them. Also invested into an assessment countrywide to establish what are the areas that have high opportunity for youth to engage in agriculture. We are calling it an ecosystem mapping. And the report is out and we are disseminating it to youth. We are also working on access to capital, where youth will be able to access financing, possibly at a single-digit interest rate. And that will give them working capital. And on the policy, we have started engaging policymakers to avail land, which is a productive asset.
They have promised to find the best solution to the difficulties faced by the young agri-food entrepreneurs. Approximately 125,000 youth are coming to the labor market in Rwanda every year, and to create job opportunities is what they are looking forward to. They want to create an environment where they are not short of anything related to farming and also want to make easy access to resources. Siddhi Patel, RTV News.
A high-level delegation from the World Bank on Thursday visited a mobile hospital in Nyamata in Bugesera district. As this delegation of 9 people from different countries arrived at the Nyamata Mobile Clinic, they found no patients as COVID-19 cases reduced significantly owing to the prevention guidelines and the country's vaccination programs. The director of the hospital, Dr. Redukunda Cyprien, noted that although the COVID-19 reduced, the facility is always a standby to help the country in case of any pandemic.
This center is now accommodating patients with COVID-19 patients, but it can also accommodate other patients with infectious diseases. So it's an hospital of high standard because beside of treating COVID, it also has other services, including operating theaters. We do have hemodialysis, we do have ICU, and the other wards, including pediatrics and the other patients. So this center now, it has no patients. The last one have been discharged on 8th March 2022. And in general, since it's opening, we have accommodated 7 patients in total.
The permanent secretary in the Ministry of Health, Iyakare Myesashe, noted that the World Bank officials praised how Rwanda uses the World Bank's anti-epidemic aid and that there is hope for the World Bank to support the Nyamata Mobile Clinic in the near future.
So we have taken them through this facility for COVID treatment. They appreciated the state of art that is in this hospital, including the equipment. They also appreciated how Rwanda it raises different support that you get from different partners, including the World Bank. And of course, they are looking forward to making continuing a good collaboration with the health sector to support all our ongoing and future efforts to contain COVID-19 pandemic, as well as promoting the sustainability of our health sector.
Currently, the World Bank is examining the 3rd phase of the aid that is supposed to be given to Rwanda to support the country's health sector to further combat the epidemics and pandemics, including the COVID-19. On Thursday, Rwanda's Capital Market Authority officially launched the 2022 Capital Market University Challenge that is meant to boost the savings culture among students through the competition. We do more with Ghislaine Mugwaneza.
It is the 9th edition of the Capital Market University Challenge. The official launch has taken place in Kigali Independent University, ELK. The aim of the challenge is to expose students from higher learning institutions to the capital market industry in Rwanda and promote saving culture. One of the winners from previous editions has said how the challenge impacted her life.
As someone who had just graduated from university, we need jobs, and most of us want white-collar jobs, which is good but not the only thing that matters. Something that helped me is that I kept my reward in the stock exchange market. I never used it in anything else or say that I just finished studying. Now I can go and have fun. Even now, I have plans of making use of this prize, and I'm now going to be self-employed and gain from it.
The competition framework will involve both a set of quizzes and a topic for essay writing. Students that are ready to join the challenge competition have got some expectations.
My expectations are higher through gaining some skills. It's not about the things that we're going to get from there. It's all about the skills, the knowledge I'm going to get there about the bonds and all sort of things that is going to, of course, help us in our future lives.
I expect to gain more knowledge about capital market and investing in stocks and shares. And also I'm interested in gaining the knowledge to share with my fellow colleagues and generation.
According to CMA officials, all university students across the country are allowed to participate in the competition. They have also highlighted the importance of this challenge to the country's economy.
By targeting university students, we are about empowering them to know more about the capital market industry. In this case, after graduation, they will join our industry as professionals and they'll be able to start saving and investing through small groups. In this case, we are empowering the next generation to be able to share the information to the public, to the colleagues, so that they can embrace the saving and investment culture among them.
The students were reminded about the benefits of Capital Market University Challenge.
For those who are going to participate, I want to inform them that the platform of the Capital Market Authority is open for them. Materials that will be used for the student to read more are also on the website, as the Capital Market University Challenge coordinator has also mentioned during the launch meeting. Number 2 is to read more. After reading more, in case they have anything that is challenging them in terms of knowledge and the related information of the capital market and the Rwanda Stock Exchange, lecturers are there to mentor them, and even other high level of authorities.
All interested students can register until April 13 through the CMA website in order to participate in the 2022 Capital Market University Challenge. Ghislaine Mugwaneza, RTV News.
And on behalf of the entire news production team that made it happen, thank you very much for being with us. My name is Sam Kalisa. Stay safe. Good evening.